Hi, this is video reflection for, give me a second, what day is it today? Oh, July 4th. It's July 4th, I think. Video reflection for July 4th. Or 5th. No, it's definitely 4th. 2026. So today, it was a Saturday, and you can see from the background, I'm home. Two things happened today, two major events. One, I went to a college conference. I was hosted by ETS in Seoul, and it was absolutely a waste of time. I learned absolutely nothing. It was 2 hours long, and 40 minutes of it was just advertisement for TOEFL and APs and absolutely useless college statistics like, oh, the average Korean SAT score is 1400. Yeah, well, if I wanted to know that, I would have just Googled it. And also, how does that help my college admissions? And then the other half, and then 30 minutes were separated into 10-minute each summary sessions for each college, for Emory, UPenn, and MIT. But let's be real, you can't really explain a college in 10 minutes. All you're going to be doing is stating what you are. Oh, so for UPenn, it would be, we're an Ivy League college based in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Benjamin Franklin founded our school, and we have a huge focus on biomedical engineering and computer science and business. Now look at our campus. That's basically what they did, and I'm not saying that their presentation skills were bad. They weren't, but I'm just saying there's only so much you can explain within 10 minutes. So basically, I learned nothing new. They were like, Emory is based on the outskirts of Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, but I can just kind of Google that. If you know anything about Atlanta, if you know anything about Emory, you know it's in Atlanta, Georgia. See, so those things. And then for the last 40 minutes, it was more or less just it was like a panel discussion, but it wasn't even a discussion. They just asked them questions that they collected before the conference, and the quality of questions were really bad too. They were like, does the SAT matter? Or what should I write on my essay? Or what kind of ECs do you like? And we got the most generic responses ever. Look, I'm not saying that generic responses are bad, but if you give them a bad question, they can only give you a bad answer. The questions were terrible. That's where I'm coming from. But although the conference was absolutely ineffective and uninformative, I did gain one important thing, and that was my will to engage in college admissions. Every time these admission officers visit, they're really nice people. They're really, really nice. They're really warm, encouraging people. They say a lot of words, or they say a lot of things that really make you feel appreciated. I know it's probably an illusion because they're looking at hundreds or thousands of applicants with papers, and they never really get to know them, so it's very difficult for them to really get a feel for how special you are. But even with that considered, they really make you feel like you're going to be appreciated in the admission process. Whether that's true or not, they make you feel that way. And then because of that, every time an admissions officer visits or we have an info session, it just reignites my will to start writing my college essay, start preparing my portfolio, things like that. Really nice people overall. If I ever go to a U.S. college, which I will, one of the things that I want to do most is work at an admissions office. I really want to do that because that seems really fun to me. Anyway, so that was the first big thing. The second big thing was my 28th wave friends and a couple of 27th and 26th waivers hosted a musical. It was a small musical. Small in the sense of the size of the set was small. Not small in terms of runtime. It was 2 hours. My butt almost broke because I had to sit for 2 hours in a cramped space. But the musical was amazing. They performed Dear Evan Hansen. And honestly, I'm still surprised at just how they managed to memorize all those lines. Like, it was 2 hours and a lot of songs. And if you know anything about musical songs, they're not like kind songs, and kind as in simple, easy to sing along songs. It's really difficult to tell when they start. At least it was for me. I could never tell when a musical song started because I would be practicing and they'd be like, now, and I'm like, do I start now? And they were like, and you missed it. So it's because since they need a transition from dialogue to singing in like an instant, and the songs come out as very subtle, quiet, non-intrusive melodies. They start out that way, and then they grow and grow and grow. But when they start out, they're very subtle, very quiet. So it's kind of difficult to tell what part I'm supposed to go in on, because at first it's just like a couple of piano keys playing on repeat. So that was... Anyway, so back to the musical. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of musicals. I don't really like musicals. I like performing in musicals. I do not like listening to them. Or, I guess not listening isn't the right word. I don't like to watch musicals. I just think they're kind of boring. Which I know, that sounds horrible. But I think they're boring. I watched Wicked and I thought it was boring. So you get my point, right? I mean, that's like a Broadway performance, and I even watched it with the real Broadway cast, and I almost fell asleep. I'm not even gonna lie. Anyway, besides the point, I still really enjoyed this musical, not because I like the songs or anything. I just like to see people I know in real life perform. If you know it, you know that feeling is magical, and I just really like that. I just like watching people that I know really put in the time and effort to perform and be confident and put on personas. It's really cool. I really like performing musicals. It's actually one of the brightest moments that I've had in KMLA was performing musicals. It was just fantastic. I loved it. It was one of my favorite memories. Anyway, people were also super nice. But anyway, that's basically it. And yeah, so that kind of wraps up my day. It was fun. I got to see a lot of friends. That was the best part. That was the best part. Even after today, now that I'm more concerned, worried about college admissions, I still think the most important thing is friends. Not friends, people. I cannot stress this enough. Jasper, if you're ever watching this in the future, you need to remember that is the most important thing. getting a PhD, that's great. You know, getting money, earning money, going to a good institute, that's all great. But it's not as great as having people in your life. If you don't have people, all of that kind of just doesn't really mean anything. People, you need people, okay? It's the most important thing. Now, I'm not saying that is the only important thing. It's not. Money is also important. Your college degree is important. PhDs are cool. But people are what count. It was a day where I got to really feel that directly, especially because the juxtaposition of these two events, one focused on college admissions and the other focused on friends and just entertainment, I had a much better time with the second part, even though the seat was really a lot more tough and a lot more cramped than the comfortable cushioned seats at the ETS conference. I don't care. 10 times, 100 times more worth it. Yeah. I just really think having friends and spending time with the people you know and are close with, there is nothing in this world that is more valuable. That is my opinion. Anyway, so that's going to be it for today. I will see you guys next time when I have the audacity, or more like when I have time remaining to film another one. Anyway, see ya.